Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The Excellency Rector of Universitas Ahmad Dahlan or their representative. The Excellency Director of Simeo Regional Center of Food and Nutrition, Dr. Herku Tanto, MPH, MIRS. The Honorable Dean of Faculty of Public Health, Ibu Roshidah, PhD. The esteemed guests of the governing board members, Simeo Rekfon. The honorable guests from school administratives, government officials, and nutrition professionals across the region, and all the participants of today's seminar. Good morning, a very warm greeting to each and every one of you. Welcome to the International Seminar on School Lunch Programs in Southeast Asia, Best Practice and Lessons Learned. This event is co-organized by Universitas Ahmad Dahlan and Simeo Regional Center for Food and Nutrition. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mustika Cahya, and I'm honored to be here as your Master of Ceremony for today's seminar. On behalf of the organizing committee, allow me to extend our gratitude and grateful feelings that we all can gather here together, blessed with health and happiness. In this wonderful occasion, we will address the pressing issues of childhood malnutrition in Southeast Asia and the role of the school lunch programs in enhancing children's health and education across the region. Our event today consists of the opening ceremony, the welcoming speech from Universitas Ahmad Dahlan and Director of Simeo Rekfon, the main seminar, and the closing remarks. And for your information, this event is also live streamed from our official YouTube channel of Universitas Ahmad Dahlan, click UAD. Now, ladies and gentlemen, to start this occasion, I kindly ask everyone to stand from your seat for the singing of the national anthem Indonesia Raya and the anthem of Muhammadiyah Sang Surya. Thank you. You all now may be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now pleased to present a special address from the Excellency Rector of Universitas Ahmad Dahlan, Professor Mukhlas MT. The speech will be displayed on the screen for everyone to follow along. Without further ado, let's turn our attention to the screen for the address from Professor Mukhlas MT.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to welcome you all to the National Seminar of the Southeast Asian Minister of Education Organization, Regional Center for Food and Nutrition 2024. We are very happy to host this event that brings together honorable guests from Seameo Rakfon and partners to share knowledge and ideas in the topic of Scholans program. We had a lot of news that Scholans program will be the new program of the next Indonesian government. It is designed as a response to the challenges of childhood malnutrition and nutrition deficiency, especially in our children coming from disadvantaged background. Therefore, it is important for us to learn about the best practices of the similar program across Southeast Asia. By talking the lesson learned from the Scholans program that have ever applied, then we could design a better one and anticipate the potential problem in the future. In these remarks, I would like to express my gratitude to all those who have worked hard to make this conference a reality, especially to Director of Seameo Rakfon, Dr. Herkutanto, MPH Mars SPKKLB, Deputy Director for Program, Dr. Jesusi Fernandes, Kepala Dinas Kesehatan Provinsi Daerah Istimewa Yogyakarta, Kepala Dinas Kesehatan Kabupaten Sleman, Kabupaten Bantul, dan Kota Yogyakarta, Kepala Puskesmas Banguntapan, Depok 1, Depok 2, dan Depok 3, dan juga Koordinator Program Studi Gizi se-Provinsi Daerah Istimewa Yogyakarta. I also express my gratitude to the keynote speakers today, Dr. Hui Meng Hut from the Ministry of Health of Cambodia, Dr. Mary Chong from the National University of Singapore, Dr. Dexter Galban from the Department of Education of Philippines, and Mr. Muhammad Ridwan Ansori from Program Studi Gizi Universitas Ahmad Dahlan. And finally, I wish you all a productive, inspiring, and enjoyable seminar. Ladies and gentlemen, by reciting Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, I declare the National Seminar of the Southeast Asian Minister of Education Organization, Regional Center for Food and Nutrition 2024 officially open. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Professor Mukhlas, for the inspiring words. It is now my pleasure to invite the Dean of Faculty of Public Health, who will represent the Rector of Universitas Ahmad Dahlan, to deliver the welcoming remarks and also to officially open the seminar. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Ibu Roshidah, PhD.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. First talk together, we have watched the record welcoming remarks from the Rector of University of Ahmad Dahlan. I would like to extend his warmest regards to all you in person. First of all, Director of Siameo Rekfon, Dr. Herkutanto, thank you for this collaboration and opportunities. Deputy Director for Program, Dr. Jesus Fernandez, thank you for helping us coordinating this program. And also Deputy Director of Siameo Secretariat, Dr. Kamal, thank you for coming, and I heard last night that this is the first time visit to Yogyakarta. I hope you enjoy your visit. I would like also welcome our keynote speakers today, Dr. Hui Menghot from the Ministry of Health Cambodia, and Dr. Mary Chong from the National University of Singapore, Dr. Dexter Galban from the Department of Education, Philippines, and Mr. Muhammad Ridwan Ansori from the Nutrition Study University of Ahmad Dahlan. Thank you for your willingness to share ideas and advancing children nutrition. I agree with Professor Mukhlas that we need to learn from the best practices of school lunch program from across Southeast Asia, as well as taking a lesson learned to make the best version of ours. In this occasion, we are also honored to have Ibu Kepala Dinas Kesehatan Provinsi Daerah Istimewa Yogyakarta, or the representatives, Bapak Kepala Dinas Kesehatan Kabupaten Bantul atau yang mewakili, Bapak Kepala Dinas Kesehatan Kabupaten Sleman, Ibu Kepala Dinas Kesehatan Kota Yogyakarta, Bapak dan Ibu Kepala Puskesmas Banguntapan, Puskesmas Depok dan Puskesmas Depok 2 dan 3, serta para ketua program studi pada PTN-PTS di Yogyakarta, para dekan dan dari Kementerian Agama. In these remarks, I would like to express my gratitude to all those who have worked hard to make this conference a reality, and to all participants, please enjoy this conference. Thank you very much. Hopefully it will be a successful conference, and it will be beneficial for all of us. Thank you very much. Billahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, Ibu Roshidah, PhD, for delivering the welcoming remarks and officially opening this seminar. Now, I would like to invite the Director of Siameo Rekfon to deliver his speech. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming him to the podium, Dr. Herkutanto, MPH, MARS.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. Peace be upon us all. Allahumma sholli ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala ali Sayyidina Muhammad. To the honorable guests and also the hosts, first one is the Ibu Roshidah, the Dean of the Faculty of Public Health, Universitas Ahmad Dahlan. And then we also have Dr. Kamal from the SEAMES, We also have CMO RecFon's governing board members, advisor, and expert. Pak Zain, the Deputy Director of Administration, and Pak Jess, Deputy Director Program from CMO RecFon. We also, of course, have the invited participants from various institutions and Universitas Ahmad Dahlan colleagues. Greetings to all distinguished guests. I am honored to welcome you to the International Seminar on School Lunch Programs in Southeast Asia, theme Best Practices and Lessons Learned, taking place today on the 26th of September 2024 at Universitas Ahmad Dahlan in Yogyakarta. This is a collaboration between UAD and CMO RecFon. For those of you probably for the first time hear the name of CMO RecFon, and it's still very strange name. CMO RecFon actually stands for Southeast Asia Ministry of Education Organizations. So this is the organization of all Minister of Educations in Southeast Asia. So there are 10 countries joining CMO. And CMO consists of 26 centers, all in Southeast Asia, and in Indonesia there are 7 centers. RecFon is one of them. Now, RecFon stands for Regional Center for Food and Nutrition. And from the name, of course, we can understand that the mandate of RecFon is to develop understanding, comprehensive understanding, and also educate multiple stakeholders on food and nutrition. And this is very important because our new cabinets that will be launched shortly next month, one of the main programs is on nutrition. So it will be one of the benefit for us as the organization that deals with food and nutrition to participate and contribute to the main programs of the new government and cabinets. CMO RecFon has 3 flagship programs named ECCNE, or Early Childhood Care and Nutrition Education. This program focuses on educate multiple stakeholders the importance of early child care and nutrition. So there are a lot of activities done in the program. The second flagship program is NGTS, or Nutrition Goes to School. We're going to discuss more about this in this seminar. And the other is Nutrition Goes to Work. So as we gather here, we confront a pressing issue about childhood malnutrition that remains a significant challenge in our region. So school lunch programs represent a crucial intervention that not only supports children's health, but also enhances their educational outcomes. These programs are particularly vital for children from disadvantaged backgrounds, ensuring that they receive the essential nutrients necessary for their growth and academic success. The varied effectiveness of school lunch programs across Southeast Asia country underscores the importance of this seminar. It will serve as a platform for knowledge exchange that will enable us to learn from one another's successes and challenges. By sharing insight on menu planning, sourcing local product, and engaging communities, we can collaboratively develop more effective and sustainable school lunch initiatives that will benefit for our future generations. Today, we are privileged to have esteemed speakers from the Ministry of Health of Cambodia, Dr. Hui. Yeah. From the National University of Singapore, Dr. Mary Chong. Okay. Shortly, Dr. Dexler Gablan will join us from Zoom. Yeah, he is from the from the Department of Education of the Philippines. Okay, is he already joining? Not yet. Okay, and also we have Mr. Ridwan Ansari, yeah, as the host speaker from Universitas Ahmad Dahlan. So I believe that their expertise will illuminate various aspects of school lunch programs, from funding sources, community involvement, to the integration of nutrition education and innovative technologies. Our target audience, comprising government officials, program administrators, nutrition professionals, NGO researchers, nutrition students and school staff, and also from Puskesmas, if I am not mistaken, yeah, reflects the collaborative spirit necessary for advancing our shared goals. Your diverse perspectives and experiences will enrich our discussions and contribute to developing actionable solutions. In conjunction with this seminar, I am also pleased to announce that the Siamio Rekfon governing board members from the Southeast Asia countries are also here in this room, yeah, and we will have a meeting today and tomorrow to review and provide feedback on 12 working papers regarding Siamio Rekfon. This discussion will also aim at advancing food and nutrition policies across Southeast Asia and reflect our shared commitment to tackling the malnutrition crisis through collaboration. I would also like to encourage and invite your participation in our upcoming events. In just 2 weeks, on October 9th, there will be the first Southeast Asian Youth Forum on Food and Nutrition, an exciting initiative designed to engage young people from across the region in advocacy and education on food security and nutrition. But the registration for this has been closed, yeah. But don't worry, we will also have the Siamio Rekfon second international conference on food on nutrition and nutrition, ICFN. That will be held on October 17th to 18th, 2024. Now, I would like to invite your participations to register for this conference. Yeah, I think we can still have more participants. Yeah, and it is free of charge, so you can just register. Okay, yeah, okay. This is an online meeting. Yeah, okay. Yeah. This important event will bring together global and regional experts to address emerging food and nutrition challenges and deepen our collaborative effort. So let's engage in meaningful dialogue and collaboration today, drawing on our collective knowledge to improve child nutrition and health outcome in Southeast Asia. Together, we can forge a path toward a healthier future for our children. Thank you for your commitment to this important event, and I look forward to the fruitful discussions that are with us just a moment. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, Dr. Herkutanto, for your insightful remarks. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before moving on to the next session, we would like to have the commemorative photo of all of us. Therefore, I kindly request for all of you, for the guests, the speakers, and all the audience to stand from your seat, and we will take a photo together. For our photographer team, please kindly guide the photo session. Dimohon hadirin sekalian untuk bisa berdiri, kita akan menghadap ke panggung untuk mengambil foto bersama. Yeah, don't forget to smile. 3, 2, 1, Jogja! Great, thank you. You may now be seated again. Thank you very much. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, let us proceed to our main segment of today's event, the seminar. In this session, we will have distinguished speakers who will share their expertise and experiences in the school lunch programs of their respective countries. The seminar session will be moderated by an expert in this field, especially in the implementation of nutrition programs for children and adolescents. Therefore, allow me to introduce our moderator for today's seminar, Dr. Yudiastuti Februartanti. Please for the team to show the profile of Dr. Yudi. Dr. Yudi is the current research manager of Simeo Rekpon, as well as the head of Community Nutrition, Master in Nutrition Study Program, Faculty of Medicine, Universitas Indonesia. She was graduated from the Bachelor of Science in Agricultural Technology, Institut Pertanian Bogor, the Master of Science in Community Nutrition, Postgraduate Program, Universitas Indonesia, and the Doctorate in Nutrition, Faculty of Medicine in Universitas Indonesia. And she has abundant experiences in research and publications, particularly focusing on the implementation of nutrition program for children and adolescents. One of those is the ongoing research, the effect of a school-based nutrition intervention to promote healthy eating behavior among adolescents in Indonesia, a cluster randomized pilot study funded by Harvard Chan School of Public Health through Universitas Indonesia. Well, now, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please join me in welcoming our moderator of today's seminar, Dr. Yudiastuti Februartanti.
Mic test. Okay. Thank you. I feel like I am the winner of something, and thank you for the applause. Yeah, I would like to reiterate again the point raised by my director, that in today's session, we are glad that talking about this very important and timely discussion on school lunch program, today we are represented by speakers from different sectors. If you notice, we have from the Ministry of Health, we have from the Ministry of Education, and from the universities. So I think this is the pressure for the universities, because from time to time, the role of the academics is always to provide technical guidance to the government. So I think we are honored today on behalf of Simeo Rekpon and Universitas Ahmad Dahlan to be listening and to have an exchange of experience on how the school lunch programs are being implemented in Cambodia, the Philippines, Singapore, as well as in Indonesia. So I think that is my introduction. And then I would like now to introduce each of the speaker. I'm going to give you also the cue, so when the bumper is on, I would like to invite you to come and accompany me in the front, okay? So let's start to introduce the first speaker. Can we have the slide, the CV of Mr. Hui? Thank you. Okay, so as we can see, Dr. Hui Men Hood, hopefully I correctly pronounce your name, is currently the Deputy Director of the International Cooperation Department, Ministry of Health, the Kingdom of Cambodia. He holds Doctor of Medicine from University of Health Sciences, Cambodia, Phnom Penh. Please visit it. And he has many experiences and qualification. What I am glad to read from the CV is that he has been in Jakarta, and what is also interesting, you have been to Yogyakarta before, yeah, Dr. Hui? So this is interesting to know that certification of Dr. Hui is long listed, so we are glad he is with us so we can learn much more from him. Thank you, Dr. Hui, for coming forward and accompanying me. Okay, and then we have the second speaker, Dr. Mary Chong. So, Dr. Mary Chong, current position is Associate Professor at So Shi Hock School of Public Health, National University of Singapore. She is also adjunct principal investigator at the Singapore Institute for Clinical Sciences, A*STAR. She holds his PhD long way from University of Oxford, UK, and her research interest is very beneficial for Simeo RegFund specifically. That's why she became one of our governing board member together with Dr. Hui. Dr. Mary Chong, thank you for coming to the front. Okay, so we have the next one, our other governing board member from the Philippines. His current position is Assistant Secretary for Operation of the Department of Education. Dr. Dexter Galban, as I learned from the CV, is actually a nursing profession. What is interesting, he holds also his Doctor of Medicine and Master in Business Administration from Ateneo de Manila University. He has few awards and distinction. What is also interesting, he holds this award on Transformational Leadership Award. Dr. Galban, unfortunately, is not able to join us today, this morning, I mean. He will join us shortly this afternoon. We will have, don't worry, we will still be learning some lessons learned from the Philippines. So get the surprise after this, yeah? And the last but not least, okay, I would like to invite our dear friend, Mas Muhammad Ridwan Ansari, who is actually the faculty member of the Nutrition Department of Faculty of Medicine, Universitas Ahmad Dahlan. A good news about Mas Ridwan is that he is currently a PhD student at Universitas Gadjah Mada. So let's put an amin in this room for him to graduate soon. He is an asset, I believe, for Universitas Ahmad Dahlan. So Mas Ridwan, thank you. Please come forward. Okay, I think that's basically the introduction, a slide of modification on what I was briefed this morning, Mbak Mustika. I hope it is okay. For all the speakers, you will have about 20 minutes for your presentation. And then I will allow Dr. Hui first to present, and then Dr. Mary, and then after that, we will listen to the recorded video from Dr. Galban. And then after that, we will invite the host, Mas Ridwan, to also wrap up the presentation, and we will end with the Q&A. So please pay attention. If you have questions, keep that, and then we will have the Q&A session afterwards. And as also mentioned by our director, in this room we also have governing board members from other countries, from Brunei, from Malaysia, who may also be able to share what is going on with the school lunch program in their respective country. Also from Laos, yeah, we have Mr. Vilasit in this room. Did I miss Myanmar as well? I'm so sorry, Dr. Ye. Maybe we can also have some exchange later on after the Q&A session for more information about what is going on in Myanmar and also in Thailand. Did I miss anyone? I'm so sorry. Okay, yeah, so I think we will keep that for the Q&A. So without further ado, I think I would like to invite Dr. Hu to start your presentation for 20 minutes.
Yes, very good morning, everyone again. And today I'm so great honor is honored to be here again since 2016. And now I'll be here again. Very happy here. I'm so thankful for the CMO Harifon for inviting me to presentation here. Now just next slide. I want to share regarding the school health country level. This is the focus under the Ministry of Education. Just want to mention, we have the national policy on school health. This is the action plan. Also, we previously we have a lot of the various national action plan or plan action also. Now we up to now we developed the national action plan 2021 to 2030. Also. Next. This I want to emphasize regarding the national policy on school health regarding the vision and goal. Next slide for. Yes. Regarding the vision and goal, the vision, we focus the develop human resource to be fully qualified and physically, mentally, and spiritually healthy to sustainably to develop Cambodian society. And also goal is aimed to contribute to improving quality of education and giving learner and educational personnel access to good health and welfare service to become human resource of high potential. Next. Regarding the objective of the school health policy, we want to promote fundamental health service for learner and educational personnel, and promote nutrition provision, and promote inclusive learning environment, and also build a culture of personal, family, and society care. And last but not least, to also promote the participation of all stakeholders to improving school health in my country. This one too, I want to indicate regarding the school health department structure under the Ministry of Education. This one, the green one, the Ministry of Health involved with link the ministry also and other partner. This is about this slide. I want to share regarding the best practice for school health program. Since the beginning, our country after we finish after Khmer Rouge 1979, during that time we start up from the empty, nothing, everything. We start until the 1998, we just finished the Civil War. And the school here also started from the 1998 and developed step by step up to now. And then regarding the best practice, I want to emphasize regarding the planning, we need assessment. And so regarding this, we should need assessment and to identify nutritional gap and target population. And we need to also, during that, our best practice also, we need to come into community participation for involving the local community in all stages of program implementation. And also food safety and hygiene very important regarding also we implemented during the strict food safety and hygiene standard throughout the program of carry out from our government put it. And the menu planning and procurement also developing diverse culturally appropriate menu with local source ingredient regarding the food hygiene, safety food hygiene. And the capacity building, very important, so important regarding the training. We providing the ongoing training support for the cooks, teachers, and community member in the community level. And then the last in the monitoring and evaluation after we implementation, we also regularly monitoring program impact and identifying area for improvement, the school health program. This is the lesson learned in the community. First, we learn about important the community engage, the community involvement, the strengthen program on ownership and sustainability, and also focus the nutrition education, providing nutrition education to students, teachers, and families in hand program impact. Also, data-driven decision making. Also, we do regular monitoring and evaluation essential for program improvement. Last is we also up to now we also continue training to the school ensure the program staff have the skill and knowledge maintain the quality in the school health program. This slide I want to share regarding our ministry. Recently, our minister in October last year he launched the vaccination cervical cancer vaccine for the whole country. It includes the school also with free vaccine for students under 9 years, free. Yes. That's why this campaign vaccine we also provided from support from another agency, Gavi, WHO, also UNICEF fully support funded and also technical. Yes. This recently regarding the policy on the school feeding, just established this September, 5 September, our government, especially our Ministry of Health, in responsible this policy. First, it cooperate in providing training on diet and hygiene rule and information related to children and nutrition sectors. And second, and supervision, inspection, monitoring, hygiene and food safety and food poisoning management. And third, in our ministry provide the technical support in preparing documents related to diet, food hygiene, and safety rule. And last but not least, in the cooperative monitor, evaluate and address challenges related to program implementation. What is the 4 points is the Ministry of Health in fully support the policy on school health, school feeding. This is the implementation challenges regarding the financial. We also during implementation challenge, very important the financial sustainability, and also security. We need to consider long term for the ongoing program operation. That's why the funding very important. We have the we have the active the program, the guideline, the activity with no funding, not working. In the food security, regarding food security, we also ensuring the consistent access to fresh, high quality ingredient, and particularly in remote. Why? Oh, sorry, I forgot next. Next. Just the one. Yes. Sorry, I forgot. Last, also is very important infrastructure for the school, develop school, the building, the upgrade school, kitchen, storage, facility, and during the area to meet program requirement. It is very important to more develop infrastructure, also accessory in school. In my last slide regarding the next step and way forward is we need to further discuss and also to looking forward to enhance together getting the expand the program, reach more students and underserved. Regarding we need to develop guideline strategy also related to harmonize the school health program in the future. And also funding, as I mentioned earlier, very important. We seek the sustainable funding mechanism to ensure program longevity, yes, in beyond. And also, it's very important, we need to build up with, collaborate with other partnership, strengthen the collaborate with the government or NGO, international NGO, and private sector to involve work together to enhance the school health program. And last, regarding evaluation, we also, after this, we need to conduct a rigorous evaluation to measure program impact, program impact and information future initiative. It's my end, my slide presentation. I also add one point regarding the school health education in school. In Ministry of Health in charge of by National Center for Health Promotion has carry out the prohibit for all school around my school not allowed to sell soft drink, not allowed. That is my government is not allowed. It's the new policy our government is prevent it. Yes. Thank you very much for your kind attention and presentation.
Thanks. Yeah, Dr. Hui, thank you so much. You can be seated again. So we still actually have a few more minutes for Dr. Hui, but it's okay. Your presentation is done. I believe some of the points raised by Dr. Hui can inspire some questions, yeah, coming from all the audience. And I don't know if we take up also questions from the YouTube channel, Mbak Mustika. If there are questions from YouTube, please relay to us so that we can always have a fruitful discussion. Thank you, Dr. Hui, once again. So I would like now to invite Dr. Mary to have your presentation and also 20 minutes, maybe a little bit more.
Sorry, just give me a while. Okay, just checking that you can see my slides on Zoom. Oh, it's here. Okay. Okay, good morning, everyone. Firstly, a big thank you to the organizers, Senior Rec Fond, Universitas Ahmad Dahlan, for inviting me here to share with you today on school meal programs in Singapore. Best practices and lessons learned. So in Singapore, students spend at least a good half of a day in school, okay, where lessons start from about 7:30 a.m., ending around 1:30, 2 p.m. So most students would have at least one snack or one lunch, or maybe even one snack and one lunch during their school days, and thus the importance of having healthy school meals. Okay, so in Singapore, the initiatives to start healthy school meals, or to give healthy school meals, started as early as 2011. So this initiative was started by our Singapore Health Promotion Board, where they had this initiative of providing healthy school sets to the students. So this means that instead of students purchasing one composite dish, so for example, one bowl of noodle soup, one plate of chicken rice, the students now are encouraged to buy, right? Each school set should have foods from all the four food groups. So if you look at a healthy plate here, the 4 food groups will be the carbohydrates, so whole grains, some protein, a fruit, and a vegetable. And these sets are available in either small, medium, or large, right? So the prices will be accordingly to that size. So over the years, from 2011 to 2017, the initiative has evolved, okay, to be now officially called the Healthy Meals in School Program, or what we call the HMSP. So over the years, things have changed. More schools are adopting it, such that by 2017, nearly all mainstream schools, so meaning government schools, okay, not including private schools, they now will have to follow the HMSP guidelines to provide healthier school canteen meals to children. And these children will be from primary school right up to junior college, which is like high school or post-secondary. So the impetus for doing this, okay, for actually bringing up this initiative, is because of the growing proportion of childhood obesity in Singapore, where overweight children, the proportion has grown really over the years from 11 to 13%, okay, from 2013 to 2017, and in more recent years has gone up to 16%, especially during the COVID years. And we have data also telling us that children, by the time they're 7 years of age, okay, and if they're overweight, then they're likely to stay overweight even as adults. And if you compare to our children 20 years ago, our current 11 to 12-year-olds are more likely to be obese, okay, than the kids 20 years back. And if we look at our National Nutrition Survey data from schools as well as research studies locally in Singapore, we know here that many of our children are having poor diet quality, they are not meeting fruit and vegetables, whole grain guidelines, they're taking too much sodium, added sugar, and on top of that, right, they also have very low level of physical activity. So therefore, very strong incentive, okay, to make sure that we give them healthy school meals in schools. And I think very importantly as well, there's a lot more evidence showing that actually the early childhood period of time and childhood period is really a critical time, right, where eating habits, food preferences, health diet patterns are established, and this continue to follow and track even through adulthood. So for example, data have shown that if diets start off healthy early in life, they tend to stay very stable and very healthy continuously, even throughout adulthood. Whereas those that tend to start a bit less healthy, they tend to follow a downward trajectory, becoming even less healthier, okay, as they progress later in life. But the good news is that individuals, we all go through critical life transition periods. For example, we enter into primary school, or we leave home, we get married, we have families, and these are opportunities for interventions and programs to actually improve. They give hearing to the guidelines. So these are other kind of guidelines given by Health Promotion Board to the schools. So for example, one on preparing freshly brewed juices, right, where they encourage that the parts of sugar, water and juice should be 1:2. Make sure there are no extra toppings like tapioca, pearl, meaning no bubble tea in school. And then for drinks, so in school, they have to have the healthier choice symbol, okay, if you see there. So that's our front of pack labeling in Singapore to indicate that drinks with this healthy choice symbol would have sugar, less than 5 grams of sugar per 100 mils of drink. And lastly, to control the salt intake, again, schools are, according to the guideline, use only sauces, seasonings with the healthier choice symbol. That means those with lower sodium. Health Promotion Board, okay, would then provide support by, besides giving guidelines, they will help train the canteen vendors. They'll conduct briefings for the school canteen committee, which are made up of teachers, 7 teachers selected, to help them, to guide them on how they can monitor the quality of the school's meals. And finally, providing educational resources in schools like posters to encourage students, okay, to eat healthily. So I want to share with you some data based on some of the research that I've done. So back in 2020, so this is really just early start of the COVID period, and as part of a research project which is totally not related to this, my team, we had to go down to schools to take pictures and to understand what food students were eating, okay, and how much were being consumed, so that we could actually validate a web-based application which we developed. So this was a food and activity web-based application. So we collected data which, well, not related to this, but this data allowed us to therefore also, by the way, also look at compliance of schools with the Healthy School Meals program in that program. So this is data only from 2 primary schools, okay, and we thought we'd share this. But I ask you that, please do not take pictures subsequently because for confidentiality reasons, okay? So because this really wasn't meant for looking at compliance, it was part of our other study. So here, where we did was, we went back to Health Promotion Board, because we had 2 schools identified, and we asked them to tell us the compliance rate for these 2 schools. So they told us that School A, which we approached, had a compliance rate of 75 to 99%, School B was 100%. So then we took pictures of the meals taken by the students and see whether they followed the healthy meals in school programs guidelines. So firstly, we look at whether the foods on the healthy sets were following, really had 4 food groups. So on your left is the column where it's the ideal guideline, and then you can see the next 2 columns, foods from School A and School B. So you see quite clearly for School A, some of the food groups are missing, you don't see very much green. School B, a little bit better, okay? Then if you focus on vegetables, where the guideline is that at least 2 heaped tablespoons of vegetables should be served with each meal. Okay, you can see that in School A, quite clearly at the top, there were no vegetables being served in the first 2 meals. In the latter one, maybe two leaves, so definitely less than 2 dessert spoons. School B, a little bit better, but again, really barely 2 dessert spoons of vegetables. in summary, okay, for both schools, we find that in School B, a good majority of the meals had some vegetables, although less than what's required. In School A, about 48%. Okay? But I think what stood out for us was that among all the meals, only one meal served dark green leafy vegetables. So among the guidelines, we do encourage schools to offer dark green leafy vegetables, which are much richer, in iron and folic acid, but only one meal was served so far. And what we found was already the schools were providing very little vegetables, but in the schools, there were a couple of students who still left the vegetables uneaten. Okay, so in school A, 5 students, in School B, 12 students. So telling us that it's not just about providing, but whether the students are actually taking the vegetables is also a problem. If we look at fruits, okay, again on the left, this is recommended serving size. School A, we have fruits given, but really at the side of the main dish. And School B, we have some grapes there. Okay, so just keep this picture in mind because later on we'll try some feedback of what the students say about this. But in some schools, the fruits were put in the fridge, and the students are expected to take them themselves. But when we noticed that not all of them do that. Okay, in terms of whole grains, the guideline is to at least have 20% unpolished rice. Okay, mixed with, let's example, white rice. Here there's a mix. So in School A, some dishes just pure white rice, some with whole grains. In School B, we have at least most of the rice dishes have some whole grains. As per the guideline, we say use skinless poultry, use lean meat. You'll see for both School A and B, when they offer very small drumsticks, the skin was still on. However, if they were providing things like, in this case, chicken breasts or chicken slices, these were lean. As for the guideline of the school meals, we said no deep fried food should be served, no pre-deep fried, no preserved food. And indeed, okay, very good. School A, B were very compliant to this. We didn't see any. As for the guidelines, we also say that any gravy, any sauce, any salty should not be served unless the student requests. And if they do request, we only should serve less than 2 dessert spoons. But you can see clearly from the picture that quite clear that the gravy was definitely a bit more than 2 dessert spoons. Now, in terms of snacks, we said for snacks, if it's homemade, it should be less than 1 tablespoon of sugar. If it's packaged, then they should all contain the Healthier Choice symbol. So again, we see good compliance with that, where the packaged foods were all with Healthier Choice symbol. In School B, none of the participants actually purchased snacks. Same thing for packaged drinks as well. So again, if they're able to purchase drinks with the Healthier Choice symbol, low sugar, then again, we see high compliance, which is excellent. We also do not allow, as per the guideline, drinks with artificial sweetener. And again, this was also very, very compliant. So really, in summary, okay, for what I've seen so far, is that while there are guidelines, and a couple of them, not every guideline was closely adhered to. So guidelines, for example, whole grains or less sugar beverages, packaged drinks, we find that they were better adhered to, and it's very likely because these are bought from specific vendors, but specific suppliers, right, which are recommended by Health Promotion Board. Also, guidelines of not providing your less healthy deep fried food, preserved food, also adhered to. Again, we think that this is because, again, there are specific vendors or we need to, that schools will need to go to if they were to supply this. So this is kind of vendor dependent. But when it comes to store owner, right, dependent kind of variables like giving adequate vegetables or not too much gravy or removing skin, they were poor adherence, poorer. So it really depends on the canteen vendor themselves, and it's very store dependent. There was good attempts to provide fruits and vegetables, but there was not always well received by the students. Okay, and when we talk to the students, we have students telling us, saying that, oh yeah, we don't like the fruit given to us because it sits beside my meal, right? It's oily. He said that, oh, the vendor has oily hands and he takes my apple, so now I don't want to eat the apple because it's oily. I want my fruit served cold or clean or packaged. Or they'll say that, oh, my vegetables, the one served in school is too boring, it's just boiled. Whereas at home, I have it stir-fried with garlic, with oyster sauce, and I prefer that instead. So it's not just about following guidelines, it's whether the children themselves would consume the healthy foods that we give. I think I still have a bit more time, right? Yeah, okay. So another challenge that we face, especially in these recent years, are that many of our canteen vendors senior elderlies, right? So because there isn't very much profit to be made if you're a canteen vendor in schools. Schools have, once they have holidays, right, then they don't have business. They can't afford to sell school canteen foods, too expensive because these are for students. So in the end, really, the margin of profit is very small for canteen vendors. So most of them are really elderly who are really there to, out of love, and just make a very simple living for the students. And we find that increasingly many of them, once they retire, okay, there's no one to actually replace them. So it's been very hard to find canteen vendors to actually fill the canteens. And this is a problem we're facing not in primary schools, but also in, let's say, secondary schools and higher levels institutions. And many schools now are turning to catering, so we get catered foods in, for example, airline catering to actually come in to actually supply catered food also to the schools, and even setting up vending machines now that provide ready meals to the schools. Okay, so it's getting popular, and potentially this is what we're going to see in near future. So I think it begs the question of, you can have all these guidelines, but how do we encourage, or how do we make sure that vending machines for foods also follow this kind of healthy school meal guidelines? How do we ensure that catering business also follow these guidelines closely? Okay, and I just want to summarize to say that we also did some focus group with 10 to 12-year-old students who talked to us about about their diets, etc. And these are some of the quotes from what they tell us, telling us that despite all these challenges, I think schools still play a very important part in educating and reinforcing healthy eating, okay, in children. So, for example, here you have a girl telling us that, because my teacher said that, so therefore, I will follow, or because the school mandates healthy eating, I don't have a choice. So in some ways, it is a good start, yeah, and this is just last to just show you some quotes where some students actually like the food in schools, and others, when you have schools that encourage healthy eating through competition, and having posters, or all that can tend to be helpful as well. Okay, so with that, I'll end my talk to say that I think school meals in schools play a very important role in providing healthy meals to children, but in the face of current challenges, for example, increasing price, having a lack of canteen vendors, and a lot of implementation challenges, this is something that we need to think about in the next step forward. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, yep, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mary. I think both of you did not use 20 minutes, so we can have the remaining time for Mas Ridwan, maybe later, for the closing. Dr. Mary, you can come with me again to be seated here. So I would like to invite the committee to play the recorded video. So because Dr. Dexter Galban is not yet here, clever enough that the technology is now allowing us to have this kind of hybrid, so that's why we have, or Dr. Galban have prepared his recorded lecture or sharing for us, for all of us to pay attention with, and then later on we will try to also capture some Q&A if you think it is relevant for you to address the question. So please, the committee, play the video.
Good day. I'm Dr. Dexter Galban, Assistant Secretary for Operations at the Department of Education and the head of our agency's nutrition program from the Philippines. And as part of the International Seminar on School Lunch Programs in Southeast Asia, I do hope to share through this event some of the best practices and lessons that we have learned in the implementation of our nationwide feeding initiative. And to begin, perhaps it's good to start with our outcomes. particularly based on the latest data sets that we've had, based on the early partial data that we've gotten. In terms of our implementation for school year 2023 to 2024, we were able to significantly reduce severe wasting and wasting among our learners by this amount. For severe wasting, from 29% down to 7%. For wasting, 68.81% down to 22%. And this is quite significant given the fact that we have been implementing our school-based feeding program for 120 days, a reversion from the rollout during the pandemic of about 60 days. And this year, for 2024 to 2025 school year, we're expecting a significant jump in terms of performance and a further reduction in wasting and severe wasting, because we will be implementing for the first time ever full year feeding, and at the same time a pilot rollout of universal kindergarten for our learners. And in terms of the feedback that we have received from our learners, we can see here the significant difference between a rollout of 60 days and 120 days. And our learners are reporting that they're becoming more energetic, they're gaining weight, they're improving their body condition, among many others. Some key highlights of our outcomes and the goals of the agency when it comes to nutrition and, of course, food preferences among our learners. We're also moving forward with the establishment of our central kitchens, some of which are going to be refurbished, some are going to be built as new, and we do hope to further expand our network of central kitchens that can provide hot meals to our learners. Now, in terms of our provision of the milk component, it's great to note that over the past few years, we have significantly reduced our reliance on commercial milk, really focusing our procurement of milk from our smallholder farmers and farmer cooperatives. So from a reliance of about 24.5% in 2019, we have significantly reduced that to about 13.5% in 2023, and we're hoping to keep a very low reliance on it this year for an all-time low of 8.46%. And this is quite significant because year on year, we have been increasing the investment and support for the program. Apart from returning it to 120 days rollout, currently noted here to have produced roughly 252 million meals for the current school year, the ongoing school year, we'll be providing about 369 million meals. And hopefully, upon approval of our budget, we'll be able to expand that further for a record number of 407 million meals for our learners for the next school year. And what are some of the best practices that we were able to conduct, what we were able to roll out? First and foremost, we complemented our existing school-based feeding program, particularly rolled out to kindergarten to grade 6 students that are severely wasted and wasted, currently rolling out the universal component for kindergarten, and complemented that with our school garden initiative, or the Gulayan sa Paaralan, literal translation of vegetable gardens in schools. And this really focuses more on the selective production of crops that are rich in nutrients, and they're encouraged to learn more about them and hopefully plant them at home. And technically this serves as a laboratory for the acquisition of knowledge that will hopefully get them into the habit of generating their food, healthy food, loving the work for it, and being able to cascade it to their community outside the school. And this is further enhanced by our collaboration for the integrated school nutrition model, which actually establishes lighthouse schools. These lighthouse schools serve as a way for all schools who are interested in establishing a school garden to get to that first point. This houses all of the seeds, all of the necessary information that they would need to actually set up a school garden. And in fact, we've gone above and beyond. In some areas of the Philippines, we've even established farm schools, wherein all of the usual curricular components are provided, but heavily integrated in that, all of the components on proper farming and all the innovations related to agriculture. And that's our way of ensuring that there's sustainability and effectiveness of the program, both on the ground and on a national scale. And in terms of some of the best practices, I'll probably go through a quick list So first and foremost, we improved our monitoring system, and this is intended to ensure that the updates on the implementation from our field offices are adequately collated and gathered, hence our capability to provide data sets at a moment's notice. And this is further enhanced by our further improved supply mapping with local food suppliers. In fact, for this school year, we will be expanding our reach by conducting a supply mapping with all of our suppliers, all of the cooperatives, so that at the very beginning of the year, even before the school year starts, we already have an idea as to who will be supplying in this area, which farmer groups are in charge here, and we're able to adequately prepare for the procurement process. And this is again further enhanced by that suppliers forum so that they know exactly what technical specifications we're looking for, what type of crops we are looking for, so that they can also take that into account when planting and using it to follow the growth cycle of our usual produce. And we also, given that our program is heavily localized, wherein there is no central procurement, all of our procurement is done, at least on the food and milk component, at the schools district level, schools division level. And that allows it to really focus on produce, on food products that are locally grown. And that's really our intention. And this is the reason why we have an even stronger connection with our interagency partners. Apart from interagency committees like the Interagency Task Force on Zero Hunger, we're also able to collaborate with our agencies that are focused on nutrition, the National Nutrition Council, the Department of Science and Technology, particularly focusing on the kinds of products that we generate. So we do not purchase products that are not approved by our Department of Science and Technology. And we're also getting a lot of support from the World Food Program. And on top of that, because of the significant changes in terms of policy and investment, we're also co-chairing the Asian School Meals Coalition as part of the Global School Meals Coalition to enable a blueprint to be created for our area when it comes to school meals. And as I mentioned earlier, we're activating a lot of the central kitchens that were compromised during the pandemic. And this is our way of, again, encouraging that what we provide to them, our learners, our students, would not be those pre-packed goods, but mainly a lot of fresh produce, actual viand, rice, and a mixture of other food components to ensure that they are able to replicate that, hopefully, in their own homes. And the conduct of local market surveys is really important because it allows them to really see that these food products are available where they live. So this is part of an initiative that we're working on with the World Food Program, wherein we're focusing really on homegrown school feeding. And this is a way also to enhance appreciation for some of the cultural food that are considered healthy in the country, so that they can realize that the food products that will compose some of their favorite foods, culturally appropriate and relevant to them, can be made at home through our programs. And at the same time, of course, we conduct close communications with regional and divisional coordinators, particularly to ensure that when the rollout of the school-based feeding program is done, there is constant transparency established, and there's also constant updating done, so that whenever there is a problem, we know exactly where it is and we can respond to it in a targeted pace. So there's a faster rollover. And it's quite important to us that this cascades beyond our learners. So the involvement of parents and guardians is key. So not only are they participating in terms of volunteering as cooks, as those that will help distribute food products, those that will help reinforce some of the learnings, but they're really part and parcel of the program in itself. Them hopefully learning from the program and implementing it in their home setting. And of course, this is not going to be successful without collaboration of local government units or LGUs and national non-government organizations or NGOs, because they are the ones that have a network within the area and can reinforce some of the learnings that our learners get from it, apart from, of course, the food that they eat. In terms of the implementation, we do know that there is a limitation in terms of how many people we can hire as part of government. So we are hiring a lot of additional contract of service personnel, really intended to assist us when it comes to the logistics component. And at the same time, we're looking into other integration attempts with other government agencies so that some of those beneficiaries, particularly from our Department of Labor and Employment, can be integrated with our efforts so that those that are looking for a job can be hired to assist us in rolling out the program. So this is really about the synergy of government agencies. And of course, when you hire them, they have to undergo training on food safety compliance. We have to help them know how to establish central kitchens and how to run these central kitchens. That's why we're working with foundations that are experts in that regard. And of course, training of trainers so that they can also share this to their implementation group or their immediate vicinity so that we can have more central kitchens, or at the very least have people who are ready to establish central kitchens as we prepare the budget and the infrastructure for it. And again, I can't emphasize enough the value of decentralized procurement to really facilitate efficient implementation so that in case there's a failure of bidding in one area, the others can still proceed and we can provide targeted assistance to that area that is in need of help. And of course, when we move on to the other segments of the program, particularly the emphasis on food commodities sourced from local farmer groups, agriculture cooperatives. This was even highlighted in our recent budget hearing, wherein they see now themselves as a core component of the national feeding program, the school-based feeding program. And by letting them know that they are part and parcel of the process, it lets them become more proactive. By highlighting to them the notion that for every $1 that we invest in school meals, the translation is about $9, and that a significant portion of that is really because of the jobs generated and of course, the logistics, transport, and all of these components related to the agriculture segment or sector, then they become more enthusiastic in assisting the agency to ensure that there is an efficient program rollout, because the likelihood of program expansion will be higher if we all work together for a common goal. And of course, as an agricultural country that is archipelagic in nature, there is a variation in terms of the availability of milk. And this is why we have really invested in our collaboration with our National Dairy Authority and our Philippine Carabao Center so that we can explore other options apart from fresh milk, pasteurized or sterilized. What other milk-related products can we dive into as options to provide our learners with sufficient milk as part of the feeding program? And of course, when we roll it out, the quality assurance for our cycle menu. So they can choose between a 20-day cycle menu or a 40-day cycle menu. We consult them exactly what is available, what is viable, what can be procured, what cannot be procured, so that there is a bit of stronger fidelity in the implementation of the program. So really emphasizing the value of ensuring that they will eat what is provided because they were consulted as to what tastes good, what is healthy, what is available. So very clear communication among all parties. And of course, we regularly update our technical specifications for our food products. And this is why the value of our Department of Science and Technology, it cannot be understated. And of course, the convergence of other health and nutrition programs into the school meals program, the school-based feeding program, is also essential. Why? Because we now see that the school meals program can serve as a springboard to improve our numbers, to improve the reach, and expand the coverage of existing programs. For example, our Wash in Schools program can be further enhanced because now all of our learners are going to be encouraged to wash their hands, to ensure that everything is clean, that they drink clean water, all of these components as part of health and nutrition as a whole, which is, I think, a key component in any kind of feeding program, because it might be useless for us to feed them if they will have worms or any other conditions that will prevent them from fully absorbing the nutrients from the food that we have provided. And of course, that's just a quick summary of what we do as part of the Department of Education's school-based feeding program. We're hoping to connect with you to further improve what our learners experience in our schools, in our communities, and through CIMEO, we hope that we can make a brighter future for them. So So once again, I'm Dr. Dexter Galban from the Department of Education in the Philippines, and we look forward to supporting all efforts to improve food and nutrition for our learners here and within our region. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, and thanks to the technology, we still have some lessons learned, yeah, addressed by Dr. Galban. Before we come to the last but not least speaker, I would like to remind all the audience in this room and those attending through YouTube, if you would like to address the question in Bahasa Indonesia, please do so. So I will try to translate the best I can. Only from Indonesia to English, yeah, cannot translate further. In Cambodian, for example, I cannot. Arabic, I cannot. I'm so sorry for that. Okay, so without further ado, let's have your session, Mas Ridwan, also 20 minutes.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Oke, yang jawab salam saya doain gampang jodohnya. Ya, panjang rezekinya ya.
Translation please.
Oke. Just kidding. Yeah, pretty good morning everyone, honorable participants, especially all governing board members in Southeast Asia, the director of CMU Rekpon, the Dean of Faculty of Public Health, and all audience that I cannot mention one by one, the Provincial Public Health Office, District Health Office, District of Education Office, and also the Ministry of Religion, Kanwil Kemenak DIY, thank you for coming. First of all, I would like to extend my thanks to the committee and CMU Rekpon, University of Ahmad Dahlan, who hosting this international seminar. I'm glad to be here to present our preliminary result on school readiness and perception to adopt National School Lunch Program in Yogyakarta Province. I will start to talk about a little bit about the school lunch program. Next slide, please. And then I will continue with the National School Program in Indonesia, where we are now. The second one, we also observe what kind of information and current concern among the netizen and community from Indonesia, what their concern about the school lunch program in our community. And then the third one, we also would like to share with you the current finding from our study. What are the current practices among the school lunch program who already implemented in Yogyakarta Province? And we also would like to share with you how was the school readiness, perception and expectation from the school about the school lunch program. And the last but not least, we also would like to share with you whether our school are ready and support the program. Next slide, please. Yeah, so when we are talking about the school lunch program, this is actually not quite new because the government of US already initiated this program since 1946 ago. Yeah, the National School Lunch Program from US actually at that time initiated to be a nutrition safety net for the low-income poor family. And in addition to that, the government of Japan also 70 years ago already initiated this program. But in Japan, they do not only propose for the improvement of nutritional status among children, but also they would like to improve the behavior change among the children. Then the next question is about, how about in Indonesia? Next slide, please. Yeah, in Indonesia actually been familiar with the school feeding program, with the school meal since 1991. We have implemented the school feeding program that known as PMTAS, Program Pemberian Makanan Tambahan Anak Usia Sekolah. In 1991, we already started the pilot PMTAS in selected district in poor provinces, and the provision of snack which consists of 15 until 20% of snack from recommended dietary allowance was provided, and in 1996 we already implemented in 21 provinces. However, in 1998 the program was early terminated due to the economic crisis. Next slide, please. And then in 2010, the school feeding program was re-implemented by two governments, the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Religion, and the content itself is similar with the previous stage. And then 2016, the program was rebranded and reinitiated with the Progress. Yeah, I think Xiaomei also familiar with Progress because already involved with the monitoring and evaluation of the progress. Yeah, and next slide, please. Yeah, if you can see this slide, actually we are facing the triple burden of malnutrition among school-age children. Yeah, the government of Indonesia then I think try to re-implementing the school feeding program under National School Lunch Program to improve our nutritional status among our children. As we can see in this slide, our Indonesian school-age children are facing the triple burden of malnutrition, not only micronutrient deficiency, anemia, and stunting, and underweight, but also we are also concerned about the rising prevalence of obesity and overweight among our school-age children. Next slide, please. Yeah, based on this condition in Indonesia, I think the elected president Pak Prabowo and Vice President Mas Gibran, yeah, with their vision and 8 vision, they have one of the top priorities program in political campaign in last March 2024. One of them are the National School Lunch Program and Milk Feeding Program with very high ambitious target, 75 million beneficiaries including school-age children. Yeah, and the program was estimated required budget about 30 million US dollar, about 471 trillion rupiah. Next slide, please. Yeah, and the current situation in 2024, the President Jokowi already signed the decree number 83 about the National Nutrition Agency atau pembentukan Badan Gizi Nasional. I think this agency was dedicated to support this program, and the main task of this agency to ensure the nutritional adequacy not only school-age children but also the children under 5, lactating mothers and pregnant mothers. Next slide, please. As we already aware with this school lunch program, a lot of concern among the community raising concern about the program, including few digital information we put in there. We summarize at least 3 points of concern among the community. The first is the supply chain and the program delivery, because there are high risk of cross-contamination and the foodborne illness if the school meal program do not manage properly. And the community also concerned related to the risk of corruption, which seems to familiar with our country as well. The second one is about whether the school lunch program aim the right target, right amount, and the right meals as well. Since we did not only have undernutrition problem, we also having overnutrition and obesity problem in our school-age children. And the third one, the issue of replacing cow milk with fish milk. But I don't want to talk more about this, yeah. Don't ask why, yeah. Okay, next slide, please. So, the previous slide. Yeah, okay. There are a lot of evidence about the supply chains, yeah. That poor supply in school lunch program may increase the risk of foodborne illness and foodborne diseases. For instance, in 2019 in Taiwan, for instance, there are outbreak related to Clostridium perfringens in the school lunch, and the similar situation will also happen in Japan, yeah, related to Salmonella infected in school lunch dessert, yeah. How about Indonesia? In Indonesia itself, during 2000 until 2015, there was more than 1,000 foodborne illness happen in Indonesia, and 13 of them occurs in school. Yeah, so we should aware about this, how important the supply chain of food school lunch program in our school. Yeah, next slide, please. Yeah, based on this situation, then our team from Department of Nutrition, Faculty of Public Health, University of Ahmad Dahlan would like to address some question about this school readiness and perception toward the school lunch program. And next slide, please. We have done with the mixed method study, yeah, carry out to address the objective, and followed by the qualitative survey and a quantitative online survey with the headmaster of 150 schools in Yogyakarta province. Okay, next slide, please. Yeah, total 150 schools involved in our survey, and mostly are private school, about 81.6%, and distributed across 5 districts and cities in Yogyakarta province. The respondent mostly a school principal or school headmaster with age 45 years old. Next slide, please. Yeah, we found that 15.1% of school, or 23 out of 150 schools in Yogyakarta actually has implemented the school lunch program. Then almost all schools that already implemented the program coming from the private school. Yeah. Next slide, please. Yeah. So mostly the school that already implemented the school lunch program already conducted daily. It's mean the school already implemented from Monday to Friday, and more than 75% already implemented daily, and the rest they conducted 1 until 4 times per week. Yeah, and more than half of school provide less than 100 portion per day for the student. Yeah. Next slide. Yeah. The next couple slides, I will explain how was the SLP experience or school lunch program experience from the school who already implemented the school lunch program. Let's talk about the input first. Next slide. Yeah. The source of budget the program are varied actually, coming from the parent committee, and either from the tuition fee, SPP, yeah, or out of tuition fee, and almost half of school manage the program by the school itself, and the rest, they independently managed by catering service or sharing management with the school. Moreover, almost half of school, the program led by headmaster and parent, but unfortunately, none of school involve the nutritionist in the school. I think this time we should promote our role as a nutritionist to support the school lunch program in the national level. And the last, surprisingly, more than 60% of school only require less than $0.6 US, less than 10.000 rupiah cost per meal. Yeah. Let's see how the composition of meal in the next slide. Yeah. So we categorize into 3 categories. The menu A composed of 4 food group from source of carbohydrate, animal protein, and plant protein and vegetable. And menu B consists of source of carbohydrate, plant protein, and vegetable. So 3 food group in menu B. And alhamdulillah, yeah, our school already more than about 70% of school provide menu A and 1 of 3 option in menu C. It means 4 until 5 food group already provided by the school to the student. Yeah. In addition to that, most of schools, 70% of school have no specific meal restriction for overweight children or having food allergic. It seems like different with Singapore that more advanced. Yeah, they have a restriction meal and restriction ultra processed food in Singapore. And then based on the next slide, please. Based on Indonesian recommended dietary allowance or AKG, the children age 7 until 9 years old actually require about 1,650 kilocalorie per day, and the poor children whose age 10 until 12 years old require about 2,000 kilocalorie per day. This total energy requirement, the TEE, should be covered by 3 meals per day, and according the Indonesian and the US guideline, the school lunch actually should provide the range 30 until 35% from the total of TE or total energy requirement. Yeah. Unfortunately, we cannot show the nutritional intake among the children because we only snapshot survey among the school. Yeah. Okay. How about the next slide, please? How about the school lunch program infrastructure from those schools who already implemented the school lunch program? Based on our finding from the food preparation facility, mostly more than 50% of the school do not have facility for preparing the food. Yeah, dapur sekolah. They do not have the dapur sekolah to prepare the food. And how about the meal storage facility? More than 50% of the school not having specific dedicated room to storage the food. They utilize sharing room with the office, the teacher office. Yeah. How about the meal distribution facility? About 40% of school using container box to distribute the meal, and more than 50% of the school using lunch box to serve the meal. Okay, next slide. Let's talk about the process experience from the school lunch program, those whose school already implemented the program. Next slide, please. Yeah, from the meal planning, about 43.5% of school depend on the catering service. The main task of the school only review the menu and evaluate whether the student have a specific preference about the menu to increase the adherence of the menu. And the preparation, the school who prepare the food by itself, they require more than 2 hours to prepare the food, and they need 1 to 2 hours of waiting time before the meal ready to distribute to the student. And the distribution, more than 52.2% of the school use central distribution. So the student pick up the meal one by one to dedicated room, and it takes 30 until 60 minutes for lunch time. Yeah, in every day. Yeah. The figure that I show you in the left side, actually that menu provided by the school, and every week the school will distribute to the parent, so the parent will know what kind of menu that will be provided to the student in every week. Yeah. How about the menu? Seems like delicious or not? Okay. Next slide, please. How about the output? Yeah. The output. Next slide, please. We also asking the headmaster of the school whether the school have monitor and evaluate the impact of SLP. About 27% never monitor and evaluate the impact of the SLP, but the rest of the school also have monitor the evaluate and the impact of SLP by using satisfaction survey, and the rest also have health and nutrition survey among the student. Next slide, please. Yeah. So this is only a perception among school toward the impact of SLP, not the actual number of increasing number of behavior change. But most of the respondent, most of school headmaster in our school who involved in our survey perceive that the impact of SLP will give very beneficial for the student. For instance, food behavior changes will improve, the nutritional status will improve, and the school attendance will also be improved. Then the student academic performance they perceive also improve. But not only for the student, the school reputation will also be improved based on perception among the respondent. Next slide, please. And then how about the the evidence on the impact of SLP around the world. Yeah, for instance, in Japan, the Japanese school lunch program appear to can improve the total diet quality in Japanese children, but we also noted that the excess intake of fat and salt and insufficient intake of dietary fiber were major problem in this population. Yeah. This is similar with the US situation. Only few students meet the NSLP US lunch standard, and only this research actually very nice because the researcher from the US using plate waste to monitor how much leftover from the food school meal from the student. And they found that the highest proportion of the leftover from the meal is coming from the vegetable and intake. It means the student dislike the fruit and vegetable and food that contain source of vitamin A and vitamin C. But it will be different in Sweden. After 2 years, the introduction of school lunch program, they can improve the school meal quality among the student. And in Indonesia itself, our colleague from IPB, Prof. Priawan, yeah, they conducted a study, the school lunch program in Pondok Pesantren, and they proved that the school lunch program followed by the nutritional education can improve the knowledge, attitude, and practice about the nutrition balance. Not only the KAP, but also the nutritional intake and the prevalence of anemia was also been reduced, but not for the nutritional status among the children. And I think this is relevant with the next slide. Yeah, this is the summary of the impact of school feeding on educational and health outcome from the systematic review and meta-analysis. The school feeding show that can increase height and weight, yeah, significantly, but not significantly improve the nutritional status indicators such as height for 8Z score, weight for 8Z score, and BMI for 8Z score. Not only increase in height and weight, the school feeding program also can increase the percentage of school days attended among children. Yeah. In the last part of our presentation, next slide please, we also would like to share with you what are the perception and expectation from the school. And the second one, we also would like to share with you whether the school ready to support and implemented the program. Next slide, please. Okay. Next slide, please. Yeah. According to our finding from our survey, mostly almost 100% of our school perceive that the school lunch program is important, and they perceive that they will have a benefit from the school lunch program not only from the school attendance, student attendance, but also with the student performance, the nutritional status, and also can improve the food behavior change among the student. Next slide, please. We also assess the perception about the school, what kind of concern from the school point of view, things that can influence the success of school lunch program in their school. The first concern among the school was the lack of responsibility among various stakeholders. Yeah? And the second one, they concern about the risk of corruption and poor governance, yeah? The implementation of SLP, and the less participation and commitment among school stakeholders. I think this is very nice information. What kind of concern from the school that we should address before the school lunch program implementation. And okay, next slide, please. Yeah, moreover, the school also expected various stakeholders to support the implementation of SLP. We can guess that parent and school committee are the top supporting player for the school lunch program implementation in their school. Yeah. If the parent allow the school lunch program and support the school lunch program, I think the school lunch program in their school will be sustainable. Only few schools mentioned, private sector and universities should be involved in the program. This time, actually, we also would like to promote, the role of academy, the role of private sector to support the National School Lunch Program. And then, let's see in the next slide, what kind of support that the school need prior SLP implementation. Next slide, please. Yep. So, if we asking them what kind of support that school need from the government prior SLP implementation, the highest number of school, the highest proportion, they mention about the adequate budget. So the sustainable budget is the number one, and the adequate infrastructure from the school should be provided first to ensure the risk of food contamination in the school will be reduced. The third one is about the adequate food supply. And in addition to that, the school also mentioned about the need for training and capacity building in the school, food handler. So what kind of training that the school needed? In the lab side, they mentioned about a lot of training that school needed. For instance, the operational management, hygiene and sanitation, food handler, food safety training, and also the program monitoring and evaluation. Next slide. I think this is the last slide from our presentation. So, how the commitment and readiness of school to implement the SLP. We are lucky that almost all schools that involved in our survey, 150 schools involved in our study, are committed to support the National School Lunch Program, and about 73% of the school ready to implement the school lunch program in the next year, 2025. Next slide, please. I think we can summarize some take-home messages to the audience and to the government. The first one, the National School Lunch Program is expected might improve the nutritional status of school-age children in Indonesia. However, we should note it that the impact will not be instantly obtained, and we also should be aware with the rising obesity prevalence among school-age children in Indonesia. The second one, the National School Lunch Program also should be managed properly, to ensure right target, balance, and safe meal to beneficiaries will be happen. We cannot imagine that a lot of foodborne illness will be happen in the next year, because the school lunch program in the school do not properly managed by our government. And the third one, the high commitment of school stakeholder is one of the modalities to support the National School Lunch Program implementation. Next slide. I think this is the last part of our presentation. Before I end up our presentation, I would like to extend my thanks to our research team, LPP MUAD, and also Kantor Kementerian Agama DIY, CMA Rekpon, and all schools who participate in our study. That's all from me. Thank you so much for your kind attention.
Okay, thank you. So I think the last applause is also concluding applause for all the four speakers for sharing the experiences, and I think the word challenges that was faced by each and every country presenting today. So according to the schedule that I have, we are still on schedule, thank goodness. Thank you for all the speakers for keeping up with the time. We have about 20 minutes for Q&A session, so maybe in the interest of understanding and information flow, I would like to open first a group of 3 questions in this room while we are waiting if there are questions from colleagues and attending from YouTube. Anybody from the left side? We have Ibu, 1. Our GB member from Brunei, and maybe let me go to the right side because I see some male, maybe the one on the front. Everyone is wearing batik, so how, that one. I hope the committee notice which one get this first round. The remaining, please keep your questions. We still have the second round. Ibu, yes. Please introduce yourself, Ibu, where you are from.
Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Wahidah from Food Technology, Universitas Ahmad Dahlan. My first question, is there any supervision board provided by either parents' organization or government agency toward food provider or catering that are responsible to provide the lunch, especially on two things? The first is hygienity, and the second is proper processing or cooking. Since nutrition compound can be enhanced or even deteriorate due to cooking. My second question is about education. The program is aimed for sustainable result, not just for giving foods for kids. Those parents or family should also be educated on proper meal for the kids. So what is your opinion, any of you, on educational program for parents on this matter to ensure that the healthy children are not turned into obese adults? Thank you.
Thank you so much. So Ibu Wahida, I am assuming, sorry if I did not hear it well, that you are addressing the question for the three of the, okay. Ibu, the first question is on, if you can,
And hygienity.
Okay, and then the second one is on the role of?
About the educational program for the parents or for the family.
Okay. Okay, so I think you all three can catch the question. So if I may allow, maybe we can like one by one questions being responded, yeah? Okay, and then the second one, ma'am from Brunei.
Shall I go on with the question?
Yes.
This question is for Dr. Hu Meng Hut. I was in Cambodia a few years back to see some of the school lunch being carried out. It was in a rural school. I was with the Global Child Nutrition Foundation. And it's really heartwarming to see the community participation in school lunch programs. So my question is, when, it was a rural school, so the mothers actually come to the school to cook for the kids. So how does school lunch program preparation look like in a city school and not a rural school? So my second question is for Dr. Mary Chong. From your presentation, I see that you've managed to basically not get processed food sale in your canteen. How did you go about to doing that? Because in Brunei, our major issue is the sale of processed food in canteens, and as we know, that is not what we want our kids to eat on a daily basis. So how did you manage to basically prohibit the sale of processed food in the canteens? Thank you.
One more, and then we carry on. Yang itu mas, sebelah kanan pakai baju batik laki-laki. Nah, bingung deh.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. My name is Muhammad Fakir Aiman. I have wrote the questions, tapi saya nggak bisa terlalu bahasa Inggris, jadi minta bantu ditranslatein. Oke, terima kasih. Oke, yang pertama itu pertanyaannya untuk Dr. Mary Chong. Nah, tadi saya dapat beberapa poin menarik tentang food quality control yang ada di sekolah-sekolah di Singapura, begitu. Nah, itu saya ingin bertanya, apakah dalam food quality control itu dibantu oleh government, ataukah itu hanya pemerintah, hanya sekolahnya saja yang bantu, dan apakah guru-guru di sekolah tersebut dilatih untuk membuat hal tersebut, begitu. Nah, the second question is, yang ini untuk all the speaker. Nah, untuk kebijakan sama program pendampingan makanan atau jajanan di luar, nah di Indonesia sendiri itu kan sudah menjadi hal biasa ya, seperti anak SD, anak SMA atau anak SMP jajan di luar sekolah kayak batagor, cilok, burger yang di luar sekolah, itu kan banyak macamnya ya, seperti es cekek juga banyak. Nah itu kan banyak ya kalau misalnya di Indonesia. Nah, apakah di negara-negara lainnya seperti Singapura atau misalnya Kamboja itu juga ada hal-hal tersebut, dan bagaimana kalau misalnya ketika mereka sudah menerapkan sekolah sehat nih di sekolahnya, terus apa sih peran dari nutrisionisnya dalam menanggapi hal tersebut? Begitu. Sekian pertanyaan saya, terima kasih.
Baik, terima kasih Mas. Siapa namanya Mas? Muhammad, namanya nama common banget. Tengahnya itu nama? Aiman. Okay, so maybe I will translate that later, yeah, so that you can still keep up with the first questions coming from the two audience, yeah. So from Ibu Wahida, the question is really about the board, yeah, if there is present in that you know of, yeah, in your country, on the presence of the board who is supervising on the quality of the food and the on the food hygiene and on the food processing process. That is the first question. And then the second question is, lupa lagi Bu. Oh yeah, the education, yeah, whether there is an educational program that has been implemented in for supporting the SLP in your country. So who would like to start first? Ladies first.
Okay, good. Yeah, so thank you for your very good question. So in terms of monitoring, in terms of food safety processing, so Health Promotion Board comes in to do the training, but from my communication with schools, I know that every school, they have what we call a school meal committee. So they will get, you have certain teachers in the committee and some of the school staff as well. And so this committee will be responsible for the more day-to-day or week-to-week kind of monitoring for of the school quality. So they will do spot check on the canteen vendors to make sure that they adhere to the guidelines. The canteen vendors will all have to undergo food and hygiene training. But again, some of these aspects will also be checked by the school meal committee, which I think most schools will have. So I hope, and I think also in response to the processed foods and how do we keep that. So again, the school meal committee will be the one doing checks to make sure that the vendors are not selling these deep fried food, etc. Although we do hear from the students themselves to say that there are some stores that would secretly sell like once a week, and then suddenly the queue becomes very long because all the students will be there as a treat. But in general, that's being done. Yeah.
Yes, from Cambodia, we have, as my present earlier, I mentioned regarding the National Center for Health Promotion is work closely with our in the Ministry Department of Preventive Medicine, and also preventive medicine, and providing the education and work closely with the authority, the main place, and so the committee school as the Brunei mentioned regarding the prohibit. I will answer later. That's why, because this school lunch program is not under my, not under Ministry of Health takeover. Ministry of Health and support the Ministry of Education through National Center of Health Promotion. And for education to the school and program, we have some education or awareness to the student or police awareness. We need to make a poster, a banner, and the school for everyone know about it. For it's my thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Bu Wahida, for your very nice question. So I will answer based on the experience from those schools who already implemented in our school lunch program from our survey. So I think this is, we have 2 points. The first one, about half of the school in Jogja, they manage the school lunch program fully managed by their school. It means, I think, I imagine how the hospital manage the food for the patient. Yeah, I think the school should be improve the capacity to provide the food like the hospital for the patient. Yeah, and with the current situation from the school who already implemented the school lunch program, there are no monitoring for the hygiene and sanitation. There are no responsible or dedicated person can monitor the hygiene and personal hygiene among food handlers. And in addition to that, we also should aware about the school who depend on the catering service for providing the food. It's mean our government should aware the capacity of the canteen or the catering service should be certified, for instance, the hazard analytical control point or food safety certification and etc. So there are 2 points that should be ensured first, the school by itself and the catering service. Yeah, I think that's from my point of view.
I think, Dr. Mary, you haven't touched the point raised on the second question, whether there has been educational program that is accompanied in the SLP program in the Brunei, in Singapore. Oh, for parents.
I think definitely the schools do try to reach out to parents, but I think the challenge we have, and I'm not sure whether it's the same in other countries as well, is that the parents are not very responsive. So if you tell them to come for meetings with the teachers on the academic grades of their children, they all come. But then when we say, oh, we're going to give you a talk on health or reduce healthy eating or increase activity, then very few actually turn up. So when I chatted with Health Promotion Board, with MOE, they face the same issues as well, is that it's very hard to engage parents when it comes to health of their children. They're more interested in the academic grades. So I think there are attempts to let parents know that this is being done in schools, but they don't think much. They just think that the school's responsibility to provide healthy meals, that's the school's problem, not them. And then they only take charge of the meals of their children at home. And we had 1 or 2 parents who also, I guess this is the new generation of parents who say that, actually, I don't like to force my child. I mean, why are you forcing my child to eat fruits and veg? If they don't want, it's their choice. So we get a diverse range of parents that schools have to deal with. So actually, teachers also have a very challenging job. So I hope that answers your question.
Sami mawon ya. In Indonesia, I think we have also the same challenges. I think that's why the question from Ibu Wahida is also valid. Yeah, we would like to learn from other countries. So apparently, involving parents is also challenging. They're concerned about the academics. So we have to find ways on how to get their buy-in, yeah, on why they need also to be concerned about the nutritional or health status of their own children. Thank you, Dr. Mary and Ibu Wahida, for bringing up the issues. Dr. Hui, I think we can now come with the question from our GB member from Brunei. I think there was a point where she mentioned about a good engagement in rural schools. Yeah, so she was wondering if that particular engagement of community participation is also good in the city schools.
For me, at my point of view, because I'm not in charge of this, I just learn as I know. In the rural area, it's compared to the downtown, it's very challenging. Even though it's of course right now we have the public school and private school. The private school is okay, everything because we have it fee of charge, a higher fee. We concerned about the public school in the remote area. Very, very challenges. Also infrastructure, as is in my presentation regarding the challenges we need to build getting the infrastructure, chicken storage, something in the road. We lack of everything about this. Very now we also looking for over the support from our government and our NGO and partner to support more and more about this. Yeah. Thank you. And second question, what?
I think second question is on the for Dr. Mary. Do you still want to pick up some more points regarding the question on how you were able to quote unquote prohibit UEPF, or is that the response you had before? Okay, yeah. Yeah, okay. So thank you for that. So now the question in bahasa, cekek, yeah, the one that I remember, I need to translate that in English. But the point of concern from Muhammad Aiman is is actually he would like to learn the experience from Cambodia, Singapore, and also based on the lessons learned from Mas Ridwan's research. Yeah, the first question is really about the quality control. He is wondering whether the schools that you know of when you are presenting your data is working on their own, or there has been a government support on that particular control in the implementation of the program, gitu ya, bener gitu. Yeah, so that's basically on I think a good observation from Aiman, yeah, that having such a national school lunch program, there must be an issue of delivery, yeah, in the implementation of the program. When we know that the school is implementing, do they get help? Basically, that's the question. Do they get help from the government, or they are working on their own on making a success of the school lunch program in the school? So I think I addressed this question for the three of them, ya. Oke. Ponten berapa terjemahannya? Silahkan, maybe Rifa. Oh, you would like to start first? Go ahead, Dr. Rifa first. Or you would like to think first? Carry on.
Let me, is my answer is for government have of course refer to this. I bring this my document refer the data. Our government is use budget 90% for support the school. 90%, yeah? Yes, 90% for support success. But we also not forget about in the partner, very important partnership we looking to support, because we also to enrich more other partner to bring some even though now we thinking about the technology, very important. Is our government also is encourage partnership, encourage the partner and bilateral sector to involve, bring the high technology to support the school line, including school health program also to harmonize in the future. Yes, this is my point. Thank you.
So in Singapore, I think I have to attribute a lot to the Health Promotion Board, who has been the key really board driving it. We try to keep the canteen food cost very low, so that's affordable for the students. So by doing that, we help the canteen vendors by also making them, having them pay very low rent, for their stores. So I think there's some subsidy there from the government. But I think importantly, because the Health Promotion Board is the key coordinating body, they leverage on economies of scale. So they recommend certain vendors to the canteen. Vendors means suppliers, food suppliers. So for example, those who supply whole grains or those who supply some drinks. So if every school are using the same suppliers, then it's in bulk, so then it becomes cheaper for the schools to supply. So I think that's where the help comes in. In Singapore, separately, we have also a program called the Healthier Dining Program, where Health Promotion Board will subsidize food stalls, the good quality oil, so the oils that's higher in unsaturated fats, cooking oil to the hawker center, so that they're encouraged to use healthier oils when selling foods to the public. So similarly, I think that's sort of the same in the schools as well, where they try to get, they provide some subsidies. So in terms of financial support, I think that's where it's coming in. Therefore, overall, the meals are cheaper for the students. But I think overall, as a society, food prices are climbing anyway for everybody. So I think there is a challenge there to still, how do you keep costs low, but yet still provide high quality food? Yeah. So that's, just a quick one. I know many years back, Health Promotion also have a competition among schools. So they actually advertise, oh, the compliance rate of this school is A, this and that. So to encourage other schools to also get the award if they have compliance rate of A. So I think they're thinking of whether they should bring that awarding system up again to encourage schools to actually comply to the healthy meals in school programs.
Yeah, thank you, Aiman, for your very good question. According to our survey, actually, we never found the school implementing a systematic monitoring and evaluation for the school lunch program. At least, they only monitor the food preferences among the students. Yeah, so every week the school review the menu from the catering, what kind of menu that provided by the catering that meet with the preference of our children. So that's a minimal monitoring from the school. Actually, this is the I think the opportunity for us to promote to the government the role of the nutritionist to be there in the school to supervise the school lunch program in our school. We should learn about the school lunch program in Japan, for instance. Every school accompanied by one dedicated nutritionist, so they can manage the right meal, gizi seimbang, provided the good meal for the student, yeah, the composition of meal and the requirement of the total energy requirement for the school should be met with the requirement for those school children, yeah. And then the monitoring of the infrastructure, the hazard and risk of food contamination in the school, also the essential point that should be managed by the nutritionist in the school. I think this is a very good time, yeah, to promote and to advocate to the government the role of our nutritionists in the school and to support the successful of school lunch program in Indonesia. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, just one last point raised by Aiman is actually on the street food. Yeah, so street foods is very common, I believe, in Southeast Asia. Yeah, so that's why he is wondering how the school or how government of your country is handling this particular influence of street foods that comes into the school and then being consumed by the school students. Anybody would like to share whether you know of on any attempt or efforts being done on how to minimize perhaps the influence of the street food being consumed by our students? Because the context in Indonesia, for example, many or maybe most of the street food vendors around the school vicinity is basically selling the food that we forbid when they are inside the school. Yeah, when they are inside the school. So whether this condition or situation is also similar in Singapore and in Cambodia, he would like to know how is the situation there. Singapore first.
Lady first.
There is no in Singapore.
ours, we have we have shops. So for example, I don't think it's very strict at this point, but I know like in the US or in some countries, they have something called the school zone area. So like within 100 meters of a school, they will forbid shops selling certain foods, like snack foods. In Singapore, that's not really enforced, or we don't have that kind of guidelines. So we do see, for example, after school, you have kids having long queues at this vendor selling ice cream. So that's quite popular, right? Ice cream waffle. Or nearby a convenience store, then you'll buy their bubble tea and drinks. So actually, in many ways, we do face that same issue. Yeah, the same challenge, and I don't think there's a way around that other than educating the students. Yeah, but it's also the pocket money they have as well, because the foods there will be much more expensive than the canteen food. So again, the children will also, unless they have more pocket money, otherwise they won't be able to afford the food. Yeah.
Yes, Cambodia, yes, it's also the same thing. Singapore, Cambodia, the street food is not allowed. It's in around the school, not allowed. It's have one. Street food is organized for the company or cooperate with the authority for the far from the school, and then all the citizens can join skid. For example, and me, if I bring my kid also to join the street, and buy anything, it's not our country not regulation for kid and buy anything. When the street food occur opening and the road, the street food, the child can buy anything can. Yes. That's all for me.
I hope Aiman you understand ya. Jadi memang challenging gitu ya urusan street food. Mungkin nanti kita nobatkan Aiman sebagai raja atau penguasa eradication of street food misalnya ya. Jadi ini pemikiran juga untuk teman-teman di sini nih. From the very beginning I believe Mas Ridwan ya is actually mentioning the roles ya, the roles of nutritionists. So maybe this is where you can also see the opportunities. Mom, you would like to say something, please?
Yeah, I would like to follow up to that question. In Brunei, we recently have a Food Advertising Act, and the rule says you cannot be selling, stalls are not allowed outside the schools in a 200-meter radius from the school. And that has been effective in trying to curb street food selling outside schools, because in canteens we are trying to sell healthy options, and healthy options in this era isn't exactly the cheapest option. So students do try to opt for street food which are cheaper. So we've recently had that act enforced, 200 meters radius from schools that you cannot have stalls. And the reason why this act was enforced was because of the students' safety at the roadside, and also to prevent food poisoning that we can't track the source from. So it has been very effective in some schools, but obviously it's still in the process of being enforced in all of the schools. But from my point of view, I think it's a very effective way to curb roadside stalls. There's a lot of change management for you to do too, because you know you have all this resistance from the town people.
Aiman, bisa dipahami tambahannya? Jadi harus ada peraturan gitu. Food Act tadi yang disampaikannya, harus ada peraturan, like 200 meters from the school vicinity, tidak boleh ada yang jualan. Tadi di beberapa Singapura sama Kamboja ada semacam rule seperti itu. Di Indonesia kayaknya belum pernah ya, saya belum pernah dengar. I haven't actually noted if there is such a regulation, at least maybe coming from the local government in Indonesia. Maybe Yogyakarta will be the pioneer for that, yeah, through the study that was actually conducted by colleagues from Universitas Ahmad Dahlan. Mbak Mustika, do we still have time for another round?
Yeah, actually, there are some questions from the audience in YouTube channel.
Oh, okay.
But I think because our limited time, maybe we can read one question.
Okay,
from
okay,
them.
please.
So, yeah, maybe I can read the questions from the audience in our YouTube channel. The question it comes from Alicia Pratnya Martinez, a nutrition student. And the question is for Dr. Mary from Singapore. And the question is, and I quote, "From what I gather, there is no free meal program in Singapore, but the Healthy Meal School program, Healthy Meal School program focuses on providing healthier meal options in schools. I would like to ask Dr. Mary about how the program addresses the needs of children from low-income families. In Singapore, even though many people are well off, there are still families with lower incomes. And how does the HMSP help these children who may not be able to buy food at the canteen? Is there any assistance or support available for them?" That is the question, Dr. Mary.
Great. Thank you again. Thank you for the very good question. So in Singapore, the people or children from, let's say, the lower income families, they do get what we call food vouchers. So instead of paying cash to purchase, they will just use vouchers. And with the vouchers, they do get, for example, breakfast and would have a snack and lunch. So that's how, and the vouchers are coming from the government in terms of subsidies, on top of other kind of vouchers they get for other things like buying stationery and school books. Yep. So, yeah, vouchers.
I hope that is clear, yeah, for the question coming from colleagues in the YouTube. So because of the time, I think we have to end the session, and I'm very sorry, I saw some of you are raising hands, but of course this is just the beginning. We hope that all the talks coming from all the presenters provide you with some insights that school lunch program is really valued, yeah, by the school community. It is very important as provided by all the evidence from all 4 countries. But at the same time, the implementation faced challenges. I think from all 4 speakers, they are all mentioned about stakeholders' responsibilities, but at the same time, understanding each other responsibilities is also challenging. Some may perhaps contribute to a lack of ownership at the end of the day, but I think it is also mentioned several times the role of parents, because at the end of the day, education is the responsibility of everyone. So it is not only from the school, but also from the home environment. So I hope I am able to capture the essence of this discussion, and certainly we would like to welcome more opportunities in the future for further collaboration, maybe research collaboration among Southeast Asian countries under Simeo Secretariat leadership, for example, on this particular effort, so that again our good deed on this particular attempt is really meaningful in providing outcomes for the future generation. With that, I would like to end the session, and I return back the session to Mbak Mustika.
Thank you very much once again for our speakers and moderator for today's seminar. And we kindly ask you to remain on the stage because we will proceed with the presentation of certificates and also a token of appreciation. And for this session, I would like to invite the Director of Simeo Rekfon, Dr. Herku Tanto, and also the Dean of Faculty of Public Health, Ibu Roshidah PhD, to join on the stage to present the certificate and token of appreciation. First, I would like to request Dr. Herkutanto, the Director of Simeo Rekfund, to present the certificates for the speakers and the moderator of today's seminar. The first one is for Dr. Hui Menghut from the Ministry of Health Cambodia. And the second one is for Dr. Mary Chong from National University of Singapore. The third one is for Mr. Muhammad Ridwan Ansari, SGZ MGZ from Universitas Ahmad Dahlan. And also the certificate for our moderator, Ibu Yudiastuti Febru Hartanti. Now I would like to invite Ibu Roshida as the Dean of Faculty of Public Health to present the tokens of appreciation on behalf of Universitas Ahmad Dahlan. We are very honored to have all the speakers and moderator in this seminar. Now the last one, we would like to ask the speakers, the moderator, Dr. Herku Hartanto, and also Ibu Roshida to take a photo together. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big round of applause once again for all of our speakers and moderator for today's seminar. Thank you very much, Dr. Herku Hartanto, Ibu Roshida, Dr. Hui Menghut, Dr. Mary Chong, Mr. Ridwan, and also Dr. Judy. You can all return to your seats. Dear our distinguished guests, the esteemed speaker and moderator, and also all of the participants from across the region of today's seminar, as we approach the conclusion of this remarkable seminar, I would like to extend our deepest gratitude to each one of you for making this event truly special. And over the past few hours, we have already explored diverse perspectives, gained valuable insights, and also fostered connection that will surely shape a healthier future for our younger generations. To our speakers, once again, we would like to say thank you for sharing your expertise and passion that not only broaden our horizons, but also inspired actions. And of course, to all of the participants and guests, thank you very much for your active engagement, thought-provoking questions, and also contributions throughout the seminar. As we move forward, let's carry the lessons, ideas, and connection that we've gained here into our future work. The conversation that we've started today must continue, and I believe that together we can make a lasting impact in addressing childhood malnutrition through the school lunch programs in Southeast Asia. And with that, it is now my honor to officially declare that this international seminar is closed. We look forward to seeing you at our next gathering. Stay safe and healthy, and may we all continue to work towards a brighter future. Thank you very much, and may peace be upon us. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.